Hi everyone, it's BDevine and welcome to Divine Miracles channel, and thank you so much for subscribing and being with me. Last week we did receive our motorbike. I know that you guys knew that we had our motorbike stolen a few weeks ago now, and we finally got the insurance through, so we're able to get our new motorbike. So I had a weekend out on the bike which I'm really happy about, because it gives you a chance to blow the cobwebs out, if you know what I mean. So I had a good weekend. I hope you guys did, and here we are again for another round of Domino Angels. And I hope that also some of the symptoms that you guys have been feeling of the energy and the light that's been coming through for us all, I hope they're sort of settling down a bit. You remember last week when I did the Domino Angels, I said I had the runs, well, I actually had the runs for nearly an entire week. So I was really clearing out something, something that was just, not meant to be there anymore. But I do feel a lot better now, and I feel a lot more refreshed. So I also made last week about 6 videos for you all, some on the tarot, some on mandalas, like how to draw mandalas and all this. And I thought I was really fancy because I got my video camera working, which I bought in Australia, but it wouldn't upload to my computer no matter what I did. So I'm gonna have to make them all again, and try to figure it all out for you all, because I really want you to see how you can get started to make some really easy mandalas, and also carry on with my tarot course and things, because people are saying they want to see me lay the cards out. So just so you know, I'm working on things behind the scenes, and I will do my best to bring as many videos as I can this week. But the funny thing is, we've got some sunny days in the UK, and you know what it's like when you've got a motorbike. You have to go out on a sunny day. There's no point going out when it's snowing and raining. But anyway, I will do my best. So I'm going to see what Angel is working with us this week. I'm also going to, just as a bonus card, I'm going to do these energy cards, since we're going through so many different changes and things. I'm going to choose one of those as well and see what comes up. So let's see what's going on with us with the Angel of the Week. So I'm just going to close my eyes and shuffle. Okay, I'm asking for a message for all of us, and I'm going to stop there. Okay, and we've got Muriel. Okay, Archangel Muriel, one of the angels that works closely with Archangel Michael. This is one of the angels of protection. So she's with you now, protecting your home. There could be thieves in your area, or you could have just been a victim of this. What am I just talking about? A motorbike being robbed. Okay, please ask the angels to stand guard at your home. You may also be losing things more than usual, or becoming a little forgetful. This will pass with a reason behind it. A person of authority or in uniform may visit your home. An angel of cycles, Muriel, asks you to remember that the good always replaces the bad. Thank you, Archangel Muriel. Light a light blue candle to connect. And the funny thing is, when something does go missing, we tend to appreciate it all the more. Sometimes we become, we just take advantage of the things that we have, and we just think, oh well, they're always going to be there. I'm always going to have those things. And with the motorbike that we had, we did make sure that it was locked, and it did have an alarm on it. It did have an immobilizer on everything. But I guess we could have gone through a little bit more precautions with it, and we've done so with our new bike. There is no way that anyone is going to cart our motorbike off unless they actually carry the entire fence with them. And it's like a concrete post that is there, there in the ground, and it's chained to it, so you tend to take advantage of the things that you have, and perhaps become a little complacent with things, and you think, oh, it'll be okay, I'll just leave this and I'll leave that. So we're in a world where people are desperate, and people are trying to come up with money for all kinds of different things, and we do know how expensive it is, especially in the UK. Those people that are in the UK, I do feel sorry, that I never knew how difficult it was for you guys with all your silly little bills that you have that come in. I know they don't do it in Australia, but we have to pay for a TV license, for goodness sakes, like to have a TV, so all these little bills, all these things, people that are on drugs, people that are drinking heavily, they're going to be looking around for things that they can sell, obviously. And this is a time when, because the weather is changing, you know, people are getting out and about more, you're not going to be at home as much, you know, just do the extra things around your home. And one of the things you can do is start to really bring in the angels to help guard your home. And it's a thing that we forget to do because we're too busy, you know, protecting ourselves all the time, you know, that we forget to ask for the assistance that's always there with us and guiding us. And sometimes we get this you know, feeling within us that something is about to happen. And I know that I did a couple of days before the motorbike went. I had this feeling that someone was watching the house, and so I was extra vigilant with locking up the house, you know, when Pete was dropping off his son to school, you know, and all that kind of thing. But you do get a feeling when something's going to happen, and we need to also trust that. And because we're having so many upgrades to our abilities, you know, we're noticing a lot more changes within us. And sometimes we don't notice the changes that are there. Other people actually notice those things and will say something, you know, so sometimes people will look at me and say, oh, you know, you look energetically different, and that I do at other times. And I don't notice it myself. To me, it's the same person looking in the mirror. But other people will notice those things. I do notice subtle things over time, but not, you know, every day like other people will. So Muriel is also an angel of, as we said, protection, but also an angel of cycles. So helping you to remember that what's sort of maybe falling away for you or ending for you, it's always meaning that the cycle is turning, you know, the great wheel of life is turning, and you're about to go on to the other side of that, and, you know, it will be better, you know. And we hit rock bottom and then we come up, and then we hit rock bottom and we come up. And I do know that so many people are getting stress attacks, you know, and psychic attacks, and people sending them nasty, you know, messages and images, and, you know, they're going through grief, and they're going through loss, and they're going through heartache, and they're going through pain, and it just goes on and on. So not where just one thing will happen, it will be quite a few. And you may have noticed this, you know, in the last few weeks, especially, just sort of building up, but the way that you're handling things is a lot different than what it might have been, say, 2, 3, 5 years ago. You know, it might be a lot different to how you handle things now. I know definitely for me, I've calmed down an awful lot within myself. It's like, you know, whereas before I'd be, oh, you know, something's happening, and I'd be freaking out. And, you know, now I'm just like, oh, you know, this is happening, it's going to end, don't worry about it, you know. Let's just chill out, you know, try to be positive. Whereas it would be like the end of the world, you know, if something were to happen before, and I'd have to have a nap for about 2 days, you know, could be wiped out. But also too, I was going to just talk about that. You may have noticed that you need that little bit of sleep as well. I've been noticing that I need to actually, by about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I actually need to have a nap, you know, even if it's just closing my eyes and just resting down for 10, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. Sometimes I go for an hour or more, just put a meditation music on and go out. But if I'm just sort of laying on the couch, I will have that nap. And I sometimes think, well, you know, I don't need to have a nap, you know, that's something that old people do. But I'm starting to realize that it's not that, it's your body just regenerating and healing itself as well, and allowing you to have that energy that you need to push forward and move through the day. So everyone, you just be extra vigilant with you know, protecting your home, asking the angels of protection to be with you, especially Muriel. Don't be surprised if you get some deliveries, and, you know, some perhaps there's always a delivery man that comes to your house, and you might be a different one that comes this week. Something different is going to happen in your normal routine, that and you'll go, oh, you know, this is that's something different, and it just shows you that the cycle's changing, you know, things are shifting. So be on the lookout for that, you know, be aware of the different little things that are happening around you that signify the changes that are taking place. So that's Archangel Muriel. But before I keep on talking, because you know what I'm like, I'm going to do the energy cards. I don't do these too often, do I? These just come out on guidance readings, but because they're not really familiar to me, but it's always good to do things on the spot, isn't it? So here we go. What message do we need energetically? So I'm just going to close my eyes. I just love the colour of these. What message do we need energetically? Ooh-wee. This looks like a good one. Let's have a look. I'll try to get the shadow off of it. Okay, cornucopia. What does that mean? It means that... Oh, I'll just get it really close, eh? Too bad about that light. Look at it. It's the 11th card. Okay, so it's bountiful harvest. You know, everything is coming into play for you. Like, let me just look at this for a second. Okay, we've got the... Okay. Alright, there's a few messages here on this particular card. I'll just hold it here so you can sort of look at it just a little bit. Okay, there's a few things that is going on with this card. Firstly, it's outdoors. You know, this is showing you that your abundance is coming to you, but you do need to spend a lot more time outside and just allowing the cleansing fresh air and Mother Nature and the nature angels to actually start to cleanse and refresh you, you know, and lift you into new directions for your growth. It's showing that the light is coming in, you know, so the light is coming in and we are absorbing this light in a different way than what we have before. And you know, this is why we're having so many stomach complaints and bowel complaints and headaches and, you know, shifts in our emotions and old things coming up and old memories coming up because of this new light that's coming in. And it's coming in to help cleanse the earth as well. And everywhere we go, we're picking up that earth energy and it's picking up from us as well. It's showing also about there's a lot of food and everything on this. So a lot of fresh food and fruits and vegetables, and a lot of people are turning more into, you know, the vegetarian side of things and just realizing that, hey, I can make everything I normally make, but I just don't have to put meat in it, you know, and you know, you can save these beautiful animals. In fact, somebody asked me the other day, you know, they had their dogs in the kitchen. They were sitting there with their beautiful dogs and they were loving their dogs, and then they found out that I was you know, that I didn't eat meat. And they said, so why don't you eat meat? And I said, well, why don't you eat your dogs? You know? And she just looked at me and she thought, oh God, I'd never eat my dogs. And I was like, well, I'll never eat meat. It's the same thing. All animals are the same to me. It's like, you know, I just couldn't do that anymore. It's been 9 years since I've done this. So it's not saying that I don't remember what, you know, a lamb roast tastes like. It's just that I refuse to be a part of that and have those hormones within the body. So you might just be going once a week where you're having a meat-free day, and that's doing so much. You know, you don't have to just go full hog. You can just do things in gradual steps. You know, maybe have every second day where you're meat-free or something like that, and just try it. You don't have to, you know, think, oh gosh, I'm going to miss out on my protein, because I'm, you know, look at me, I obviously I don't get any protein, but I've got a good size on me, you know. Anyway, so maybe just the fruit and vegetable side of things is also going to help you with your healing. A lot of vitamin C, you know, vitamin C in mega doses is what actually gets rid of cancer cells in the body. But of course, you know, the pharmaceutical company and the doctors don't make any money from people being well, so they're not going to tell you that. But if you really increase, you know, mega doses of vitamin C, work on your anger, work on your hatred towards yourself, you know, the cancer cells can't survive. And I've seen it happen time and time again. But this cornucopia also, you know, says that, you know, your harvest is coming through. So things that you've been working on is about to, you know, be in your face. You know, you're going to see the results of your hard work. Again, Muriel comes into this because she's the angel of cycle, she's the angel of protection, so she's protecting you as you've been going along through it. But this week shows that there's something that you, a surprise or something that you haven't expected, something that it comes out of the blue is on its way to you. and try to own that, try to embrace that. You know, I am abundant. Say things like that instead of I want to be. You know, I am abundant, and you know, I am free, life is easy, all of these things. And I know it sounds silly, but it really truly does work. And you start noticing this happening for you. You know, you start noticing things changing, and sometimes things fall away, just to make things come about even better for you. So just hang in there. This is going to be an interesting week, and we're getting also ready for June coming up, and June's going to be even better. So we've gone from the beginning of the year where we were chasing our tail, and February was horrible, and March was horrible, and you know, April was getting better, and May was getting better again, and you know, the same thing with June. It's going to just keep on getting better, although we're still going to go through amazing different shifts within our body and have to deal with that on a physical level. But we're getting better at dealing with things, and this is what it's all been about. This is why we've had this build up. So some of the key points, I guess, is new energy coming in. If you've got an idea for a business, it's time to go ahead and stop procrastinating about this. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else. You know, stop thinking, what if it doesn't work, and what if this, and what if that. Stop talking yourself out of stuff. Just one step at a time, keep moving forward with it. Do it in your own unique way. You don't have to listen to anyone else. You don't have to try to be like anybody else. In fact, if you do, that will fail, because you can't be anybody else. Be yourself and you'll have the most success. We talked about healing last week. People need to get started with their healing practices so we can heal this world of ours. Open up to your spirituality more. Believe in what you want to believe in. Believe that things are changing, that there are miracles happening all the time, and keep your energy high in that way. Keep your vibration high by laughing a lot, being silly and goofy. Also, keep your water going, lots and lots of water, lots of fresh fruit and veg. Watch your, sizes of your meals. Try not to be overeating and all those kinds of things. Just, adjusting yourself to, the new life that you're creating, and bouncing into that new cycle. So thanks everybody for listening. Of course, I'm available for readings and things. There is specials going on at my website, and at my crystal store is 25% off, but this is the last month that's going to be happening. So if you want to get 25% off, then you need to head over to my website and do so. And those people who have already bought before, you get an extra 5% off just when you log in. So there you go, 30% off, all kinds of crystals and things. My books, my cards, everything is there. Just so you know, it's coming from Australia though. All the stock is coming from Australia, but we do ship worldwide. Until I get my shop over here in the UK, then that's what I've got to do. So thank you all for listening. I hope this has found you really happy and well, and I look forward to speaking with you or hearing from you at some time. Don't forget, you can find me at all social media at Divine Miracles. And there we go. Until next video, I wish you every happiness, and it's goodbye for now. Bye.